My dear friends, in my last video, we have discussed regarding what is cancellation property in the last step of my video, and in this chapter, we are moving continuously. So, I urge you that if there is any disturbing noise from outside, so please listen my words only. They are important, and I think you are getting that. So, I apologize for that. So we just see the uniqueness of inverses. So in a group there exists an inverse, but how you guarantee, what is the guarantee that this inverse is unique? So for finding that, for proving that this inverse is unique for every a, you have to prove that, you have to do it by contradiction, or you can do using the well-known cancellation property. Suppose there are two inverse like this, b and c are inverses. Then what happens if you take a which is from basically g, then when you multiply a by b, this b, then you will get identity. And when you multiply a by c, then you again get identity. So ab will be equal to ac. So you will what, because c is also inverse, so cancel the a on both sides, you cancel the a and you get b equals c, because cancellation property holds in a group as desired. So b will be equal to c. This is the thing. So this is basically the uniqueness. So for every element you take that inverse, his its inverse is always unique. So let's go to some important things. Suppose in a group you multiply an element n times, then it is not like that it is always g to the power n. You write as g to the power n. But if you take an additive group like g plus, it has operation plus, then what happens, this g to the power n will transform to ng. You will add g n times. Basically this multiplication, this is not a multiplication between the g's, but this is a operation between the g's. So if you have addition, then you add g n times, but notation is this only. If you have multiplication, then you can multiply g n times, but notation will be this. If you adding g, then ng is basically written as g to the power n in plus operation. They both are identically same, they are both same, but notation is g to the power n. So I think it is clear now. You see that this thing, that in general ab to the power n is not equal to a to the power n b to the power n. Why it doesn't hold? Because you can't interchange the places, like you write ab and ab and like this you move on. So you can't flip a on both sides, you can't take a together, because group is not abelian. So if group is abelian, then you can do it. So the condition is that group must be abelian. Now there is an important thing about existence of unique inverse for each element group a, is that this is the thing. For every element b in g, there is a unique solution in group of equations. So if you have equations like this, ax equal b and x equal b, then it has a unique solution. Why it has a unique solution? Because inverse is always unique. So I think it is well clear about inverse. Because inverse is unique, so solution must be unique, because it is multiplied by a inverse b, and it is b, and x is what, x you are getting, that is b a inverse. Yes, so it has a unique solution. You can also multiply by both side a inverse. Yes, you can do it, because a inverse is unique, and a inverse is, of course, if you are taking a to be non-zero, then a inverse is non-zero. So in second case, in contrast, let's see the another way. Yes, so yes, this is the thing, that if you add g to the power minus 3 like this, it means that you add minus g 3 times in addition, if you are taking operation plus. But if you are taking operation multiply, then what happens is you make it to power minus 3. I just write here, because I don't have a exactly pen here, but I can write on the paper. So it is obvious that if you take any operation, in that operation you change accordingly. G to the power minus 3 means you are adding minus g n times, right, and g to the power 3 means you are adding g 3 times. Sorry, that times you are at power is there. Accordingly, this is the case. So sometimes we use this notation that a minus b, we just write a minus b is abbreviated for a plus minus b, because if you add a and minus b, then you can write it as a minus b, because minus b is the inverse of b, so it is in group, and this is the notation we use to add a positive and negative element in the group. And accordingly, these are all the notations, so there is no confusion, right? So there is a very well known property which is also known as sock shoes property. So this is a keyword here, so you don't remember, you remembered it. In this, what happens is, if you take any two elements from the group and you multiply them by the group operation, then AB inverse is obviously B inverse A inverse. You can easily check that. How you check that? You take any AB and you multiply it by B inverse A inverse, then you get identity using using associativity, likewise, and properties of inverse. You will get this left right inverse. Yes, लेफ्ट एंड राइट इन्वर्स आपको आती हैं, आप एक ही कैलकुलेट कर लीजिए, दैट्स इनफ. यू जस्ट कैलकुलेट वन साइड, दैट्स इनफ. yes, inverses are unique. Now a very important topic will start now, so I hope that you all are listening it very carefully, and there is any confusion, you can comment on the comment box. Any doubts, you can obviously mention on the comment section. So I'm going, you can try the exercises. There are these are exercises, basic exercises, you can try them, and if any doubt, you can ask in the comment box. You can comment, you can mail me. Yes, so I'm giving this. Yes, so there is new chapter, so I will be moving towards a new chapter and heading towards new topics. So I think it will be very good for you all. So let's start finite groups. So finite groups and subgroups. So in the finite groups, what we study, that groups are finite. We don't study groups are infinite. So let's see what is the definition, what is the order of group. So and subgroups of a group we will study, but what is this definition is very important here, order of group. So what do we mean by order of group? If you have a group G, because G is basically a set, it is a well defined collection set, so you find the number of elements in that G. So this is said to be the order of this group. You calculate the number of elements in this group, right? So you can count them if G is finite, and if it is infinite, then its order is said to be infinite, because there are infinitely many elements. So we will use this notation, order of, I just write here, then it is order of G. So like the set of integers under addition has an infinite order. Why? Because there are countably many integers in the set of integers. There are no finite. So the addition, under addition, the set of integers has obviously the group of infinite order. Like you take u10. U10, what do you mean by U10? U10 का मीनिंग ये है कि आप इसके साथ 10 के साथ आप सबका GCD 1 ले रहे हो. 10 से छोटे numbers positive and their GCD with 10 is 1. So which numbers have GCD with 10? 1. Like 1 has GCD with 10 1, 3 has GCD 10 with 1, 7 has GCD with 10 1, 9 has GCD with 10 1. Like this you are considering in the U10. So under multiplication modulo 10, and what is its order? Its order is 4. So U10 के पास क्या हो गया order? 4. This is the order of a group, right? I want to note this fact. So let's discuss another things. So what are the another things? Order of element. I have discussed about order of group, but what is the order of element? So we are heading towards new topics, so I hope you understand them, and they are the basic foundations. We will go to advanced stage later on. So order of any element G in a group G is the smallest positive integer. So what happens is that you take any element of G, in any element G belongs to capital G, you take any element this, then what happens is you take any power smallest positive integer n. So what is, you take any n greater than equal to 1. Yes, so any n greater than equal to 1 you take, and you show that its power is identity and it is the smallest one, then you show that this is the order. So then you say that this is his order. So like in the case of integers, if you are taking a set of integers z plus, then what is the order of 1? What is the order of 1? Can you add 1 times and make it 0? Can you add n times 1 and make it 0? Can you add 1 as many times as you can and you make it 0? No, you can't make 1 by adding. You can't write 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. You can't write this like this. You can't write 1 plus 1 plus 1 is not equal to 0. So for not any n, but for basically you are not able to find n such that order of means adding 1 becomes 0. So in these cases we say that order of an element is basically infinite, and we say that order of 1 is I just use the notation here infinity, because in this you can't add and make it 1 0, right? You can't add 1 to make it 0 so many times. So one has infinite order. Any other group in which you can find the order, you can find. So if you have the group of non-zero reals, I am just writing here non-zero reals under multiplication, then what happens, you minus 1 you take, then you can multiply because operation is multiply. So minus 1 you multiply again with minus 1, then what you get 1. So minus 1 का order क्या हुआ 2. So minus 1 का order 2 इसलिए because 2 is the least positive integer such that minus 1 square is identity which is 1. So I think it is well clear what is the order of element. It is the least smallest positive integer such that g to the power n is identity. So let's discuss another thing. So to find the order of group element G, you need to only compute the sequence of products until you reach the identity for first time. So what is the procedure to calculate the order of group element G? Then you just calculate its powers. You just calculate G square, and you just move on until you reach identity. जब तक आप identity पे ना पहुंच जाएं, तो as soon as you reach identity, that immediately you write that order which makes it is identity at step. So this is the procedure. So अगर identity appear ही नहीं हो रहा, you are continuing G, then G square, you are calculating G cube, G4, G power 4, G power 5, and identity is not appearing there, then you say that order of G is infinite, right? So now let's study another thing. Consider U15. Yes, U15 under multiplication modulo 15. So you just take, so this group has order 8. So you can take GCD with 15 1 elements, 1 का 15 के साथ 1 है, 2 का भी 15 के साथ 1 है, like this less than 15 and GCD with 15 1, and they are all in U15. So immediately the one thing I want to say that if you are not understanding something, then immediately you stop the video at that point and try to understand. Because if you don't understand, then these concepts will be used later on, then you will be puzzled how the things are going on. So you should mute the video, you should pause the video and try to understand the things while reading carefully. Okay, so this must be the strategy. So what is the order of U15? This group has order 8, right? So let's move on. to find the order of. Yes. So we take an element 7. We take an element 7. Say we compute the sequence in U15, 7, 7 square, 7 cube. And you take mod 15, right? 7 square is 49. So what is going on? You take 49 modulo 15. You take mod 15. Mod 15, you know, you just divide 49 by 15. And what is the remainder you get? 4. So 7 square is 4. Like this you move on, and at this stage 7 to the power 4 is 1. So you write that order of 7 is 4. Order of 7 is 4 because 7 to the power 4 is 1. And like this you compute every power and try to do this. So what is the here is a trick that makes these calculations easier. What is the trick that makes calculations easier to compute the order in UN? Like this, what is the sequence? Rather than we जैसे 13 का order हमें find करना है, तो 13 what we are doing in it, we are calculating its powers. So we can easily do this in easy way. Why? Because 13 is congruent to minus 2 mod 15. Yes, because 13 plus 2 is divisible by 15. It is basic number theory. So 13 square is 4. 13 square is 4. So 13 cube is minus 2 into 4. So it is basically minus 8. So sorry for disturbance if there is any noise coming outside, but please listen carefully. I just say that 13 square is 4. Yes, because minus 2, 13 is minus 2 in mod 15, so you square it at 4. And 13 cube is minus 8. 13 to the power 4 is 1. Right? So it is all easy techniques. So what is the order of 13? You hit 1. Right? So this is the whole procedure. Now we move on to example number 2. Right? So consider z tan under addition modulo tan. So since 1 into 2 is 2, you take 1 into 2 here. 1 into 2 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4, and 3 into 2 is 6. So which power of 2 makes it 0? Means how many times you are adding 2 and make it as 0. 5 to the tan mod tan is basically 0. Because when you divide tan by tan, then what is the remainder you are getting? It is 0. So we know that this order is 5. So order of 2 is 5, right? So this is the method behind this. Similar computations show that order of 0 is 1, order of 7 is tan, order of 5 is 2, and order of 6 is 5. How many times you are adding that number and make it to tan modulo tan or 20 modulo tan? Yeah, 0. Because 20, these all multiples of tan become 0 in modulo tan. So this is the technique here. Now we will move to example number 13, right? Consider the z. I have talked about it earlier, however. Consider z under ordinary addition, z plus, you just consider. And you take any non-zero element. Then you see that if you take a, then a2, a3, it never goes to 0, right? You add a 2 times, you add a 3 times. It will never be 0. We say that z has all non-zero elements of z have infinite order, but 0 you can take 0 is 0. So 0 has order 1, right? Identity has order 1 always, right? So I think it is clear. Identity is always 1. So what thing you have noticed among these examples, that some are subsets of other with same binary operation. So we think that SL2R is a subset of group. SL2R is a subset of GL2R in which there is determinant 1. SL2R वो था ना जिसमें determinant 1 थे matrices के. It is a subset. You think that they are the subsets of GL2R. So the question comes to mind that they can also form the group. Are there any subsets of G which can form a group also? We say that subsets so means subgroups of G. So there is a term subgroup which makes it on the notion that subsets can also be a group under the same operation as G. So let's see subgroup. So what do we mean by a subgroup? Subgroup is if H is a subset of group G. If H is a subset of group G, is itself a group under operation of G's. If you take H, if you take any H, it is a subset of G. It is the notation for subset. If H is a subset of G and is itself a group under the operation of G, if there is some operation like Z plus, G is G equals Z, Z is a group, Z plus is a group, and if you take any subgroup, any subset of Z, like you take any subset 2Z, then it must be the group under the same operation as G. तो 2Z प्लस भी सब ग्रुप होना, 2Z प्लस के साथ भी ग्रुप बनना चाहिए. So this is the main notion that whatever the group has the operation, its subset is also forming that group under that operation, then you say that this is a subgroup of G. So what is the notation we use? H is subgroup of G to mean H is a subgroup of G. If we want to indicate H is a subgroup of G but is not equal to G, then we write it as H subgroup, and then H is the proper subgroup of G. So subgroup there are some trivial subgroups. What are the trivial groups? Subgroup identity is called a trivial subgroup. Subgroup that is not identity is non-trivial, and G is also trivial subgroup है ना. G भी also एक trivial ही है. So proper is basically but here it is in this book it's said that G is non-trivial subgroup other than identity is non-trivial. So proper subgroup is H, right? H is not equal to G but H is proper subset of G and make it as subgroup. So Zn under addition is not a subgroup of Z under addition. Why it is not? You think that Zn is the subset of Z, right? So it is a group also, but it is not a subgroup of Z. Why? The operation is different. Here operation is addition modulo n, but here operation is addition. So the thing is that if you are taking any subset of group, then its operation must be same as any subgroup of a group, then its operation must be same as that main group operation. But here is addition modulo n, which is not same as addition. So this is easy to understand it. Now we have some so I urge you, I also say that please read the definition of subgroups. If you find any difficulty, you can comment, okay, and try to read this book also, and try to solve the exercises also in the previous note, because they are very, and try to do yourself while reading the theory again. This will soon this will make you more independent, okay. So I hope that you will do the exercises. So is it clear that subgroups definition? So now we will focus on subgroup test. What are some subgroup test? सो हमें अब इजी मेथड होना चाहिए, कोई इजी मेथड होना चाहिए कि ग्रुप है आपके पास, उसका सबसेट एच है, तो आप इजीली चेक कर पाएँ कि इज़ एच अ सब ग्रुप. सो व्हाट आर द सम बेसिक रिजल्ट्स that make it easier for you to show that H is a subgroup of G, right? So let's start that one. So first steps, there is a theorem 3.1 which says one step subgroup test. So one step subgroup test is this: if you have a G group and H be a non-empty subset of G, yes, so if AB inverse is in H whenever A and B are in H, then H is a subgroup of G, right? So you take any two elements A and B. AB कहाँ से आ रहे हैं आपके पास? G से, right? They are coming from H. Then what happens is if AB inverse is in H, right? If AB inverse belongs to H, then you say that H is a subgroup of G, right? You take any two elements. If AB inverse belongs to H, then H is a subgroup of G. First show that H is a non-empty, because if H is not empty, then you can't apply this theorem. So first assume that H is non-empty, otherwise you can't apply it. So if A minus B is in H whenever A and B are in H, then H is a subgroup of G. And if the notation, because B inverse is minus B been under addition, so it will like this, a minus b. So it is quite clear, I think. So let's do this proof. We will do all the proofs because proofs से याद रहते हैं results, so we must do all the proofs, right? So let's discuss this. Since the operation of H is same as that of G, you take operation of H and it is same as that of G. So because in G you take closeness, because in G associativity holds, so in H also holds. It is also holding in H. Now we just see what other things are holding in H or not. So next we show that E is in H. Identity must be in H, right? Identity होना चाहिए and inverse भी होना चाहिए, right? Then it will be a group. So since H is non-empty, we may pick some X in H, right? H is non-empty, so you can pick any X. So let A is X and B is X, right? Then what happens is because AB inverse is in H, it is closed or not? Yes, you take any AB in H, then H is closed, right? So we have to show this closeness afterwards. Let's see this, but we will prove that there is identity. You assume that AB inverse is in H. There is condition that you assume that AB inverse belongs to H, then H is a subgroup we have to prove. So associativity holds. Identity you can form if you take A equal X and B equal X inverse, you take B equal X inverse, right? Then what happens? X into X inverse becomes identity. To verify that X inverse is in H, whenever X is in H, sorry for disturbance, X, so identity is in H, right? So you show that X inverse is in H whenever X is in H. All we have to do is to choose A equal E and B equal X. So how to prove that X inverse is in H? Then you can take B as X and A as identity. Then X inverse automatically goes in H, and you prove it closeness on your own. It's quite easy. You take B to be Y inverse, and this all things holds. So I think it is well clear to all of you, right? So this is first step subgroup test. I hope that all these things are very clear to all of you. We will move to next test and some examples in the next video. So I hope that these things will make you to read the book once again. And if there is any confusion, you can always mail me and I will reply that soon. So thank you very much, and please try to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, and for any updates you will be notified soon. I will be updating more videos, and I'm just covering this whole book, Galleon series. If it possible for me, then I will upload the exercises solution also, so that you can understand the things which are going behind this, and then we will go to more so firstly I will want to cover the algebra section. I will cover also linear algebra. Okay, so algebra section will be covered. So don't worry, all the best for exam. I hope your preparation is very well going on. So for revision you can see the videos. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.